to showcase talents, to promote national unity, and other socio-economic issues in Nigeria. Today, I have youngsters who have excelled in their academic pursuits and also pursuing issues that will help in breathing new grounds, breaking new grounds, and ensuring that they are going to be good future leaders. There we'll be talking about youths as entrepreneurs and future leaders. And I have here with me Inyoluwa Shuleye. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Inyoluwa Shuleye is a public health enthusiast, a digital marketing strategist, and an author. He recently graduated from Olabisi Onabanjo as the best graduating student in the physiology department. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure having you.
I'm very grateful. I'm very glad to be on this platform.
We're going to have a nice time here. I also have here with me Daniel Oyeniyi. Daniel Oyeniyi is a volunteer researcher, solution journalist, and also a public relations enthusiast. He graduated from the Mass Communication Department of Crescent University, Abeokuta, as the overall best student of the Crescent University in 2024. Congratulations once again, Daniel.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Well, they'll be telling their stories, and I'd like to start with Inyoluwa Shuleye. You said, you are an author of Adventures of a Nigerian Student.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell us a little bit story about the adventure?
All right. So I'm very glad to be on this platform to share my story and to inspire youth. So my name is Inyoluwa Shuleye, and I wrote the book, The Adventures of a Nigerian Student. And as we all know, we've tagged, there's this notion that is going viral, that Nigeria is a third world country and that it's not so easy to thrive in this nation. But then I decided to change the status quo and inspire a lot of young people out there. And that's what led me to writing the book, The Adventures of a Nigerian Student. I graduated as the best in my department, and it's not so common seeing someone having so many responsibilities on campus, being the president of a fellowship, leading so many structures, so many systems on campus, and still leading his department. And so I had to just write a book to inspire people. And I also believe that every man's product is an extension of himself. And so one way to replicate your results is to create a product, that inspires other people to take action. So that's what led to me writing the book. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure knowing that you are an author, and I will be going further, digging into other areas of your excelling spirit. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
As the best graduating student, overall graduating student,
yes,
of Crescent University,
yes,
how has it been?
It's actually not been easy, but of things to good. It has to do with hard work and smart work. Because in my school, I've been an HOC of my department right from 100 level. I have valued several positions in the school government, and then I was also the president. At the same time, trying to maintain my academic life and social life in the school is actually something that is really not easy. But at the end of the day, I was able to do it. Though there are a lot of things that I actually done, even despite being in the school. After a particular assignment of social journalism, my lecturer, Dr. Fulani, he told me that he linked me up with a social journalist where I actually worked on a particular organization that deals with children, bringing children to school, and teaching them with tech, bringing tech-based learning to children. So through that, I wrote a story, a social journalism story on it, where I got a grant of 30,000 naira then. Then I also worked with, as a volunteer researcher with Rodin University, Pledem, Apan, where I worked, or we worked on the research for the presidential election year 2023. We started in 2022, then we ended after the election year 2023. So during this time, I was able to learn a lot and then be able to build myself in different way, academically, and then after that, I was able to inspire other students. Apart from that, I've actually been on scholarship, a school of scholarship, right from my primary school. When I was in primary school, I won the Sheikh Bajibala scholarship, which I have actually maintained till I graduated as the overall best.
For over a decade.
For over a decade. After that, I graduated as the valedictorian from Crescent University, and at the same time, I'm maintaining the scholarship for both masters and PhD.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So, apart from that, it's not that I've worked in an organization where I emerged as the best worker of the year. A company, I don't need to mention the name of the company, but through that, I discovered that I was building myself. Apart from that, the younger ones looking at me, I was inspiring them with my life. I also have a manuscript, a book I wrote when I was in 200 level, The Mirage. The Mirage actually deals with the life of actually a young man who grows up to build himself, even through because he walks through the difficulty of life. He became the person he really wants to become. But you know, if you look at the word mirage, that means he wasn't able to get what he really wants at the end. Due to his own action, he became a tragic hero. And this is acts of greed. Then if we look at these days, many youth these days, they are filled with these acts of greediness. And this, we need to reduce it and work on our side.
Yeah. Youth needs to reduce the greedy aspect of their life and be focused.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've been wondering, you are into the field of physiology.
Yes.
And I've also found out that you are also involved in data-driven marketing and communication strategy. Yes. How have you been able to leverage on the issues of physiology and then data-driven marketing strategy?
All right, so concerning physiology, my major goal is actually public health. And because physiology is the study of the function of the body, and public health is the art and science of prolonging health, of prolonging life, preventing diseases, right? So there's a relationship between physiology and public health. But then we cannot truly achieve that health situation that we want, that state of health in the nation, if it's not properly communicated. So a vision that is not properly communicated will not go far. So that's where communications comes in, data-driven digital marketing and communications. That's one way we can actually advocate for health in the nation. If we have a value that is not shared, it's as good as dead. So that's the link.
But tell me, what is physiology all about?
Okay, physiology is the study of the function of the body. Basically, there are a lot of systems in our body, and a lot of systems perform different functions. We have the cardiovascular system, respiratory system, and a whole lot. And the essence of physiology is to ensure that the body system environment is maintained. That's what we call homeostasis in physiology, is the maintenance of a constant internal environment, right? So we have the temperatures to be at optimum level, blood pressures to be at optimum level, we have to have the pulse rate at optimum level. So that's what a physiologist seeks to do. He is there to actually maintain an internal environment that is constant, and when it is a little bit deviated from this, is called pathology. So physiology is just to ensure that the body functions well normally.
But if you want to help the ordinary citizen in the public, what should they be looking out for? How can they maintain a healthy organs in their system?
Okay, so one primary way to ensure that we maintain good health is to reduce stress. So what stress does is that it triggers the body system to release hormones, right? And these hormones are like the fight and flight response hormones. These hormones are good hormones, but then what they do is, when we are faced with emergency situations, these hormones are released to ensure that we are well prepared to combat those situations. But then when we are constantly faced with stress consistently, these hormones are consistently triggered, and then they can increase the blood pressure, they can increase the heart rate, they can increase the blood glucose level, and so this can lead to increase in blood pressure, it can lead to hypertension. So one primary way to ensure that you stay healthy is to reduce stress. Another way is to sleep well, take good diet, and have a consistent exercise. So basically that's it.
Yeah, I think the people out there are listening to us, they are watching, and I believe that they will be able to take off stress. But I don't think it's that easy, the way you said it, because life is full of challenges. Well, whichever way, we are going to cope. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
I found out that you are a volunteer researcher.
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean to be a volunteer researcher, and how have you helped in the field of mass communication and journalism?
Okay. It goes like this. Let me start with actually the definition of research. Research has to do with gathering of knowledge for the advancement, gathering of information for the advancement of knowledge. There are different types of research. But here, the research I actually volunteered for was a social science research. This research is to study the ability of people in dealing with elections, like being political party, the way people vote during election, and the way people tend to do things in the society. Because we did our research on the presidential election. And during this time, I coded videos. I was a data collector, and I coded videos. And then during this time, I get to understand how things work. In this way, I was able to explain to others, young ones, being the president of my department during a particular orientation for the 100 level. I spoke about this. I spoke about political participation of the youth, of Nigerian youth. And then I would like to talk about PR as a part of actually bringing the people together, letting the youth believe they can do what they can do. We have different paradigms that makes us believe that the Western worlds are actually better than us. And then this paradigm, they are obsolete. They do not work in these days again. We need to look at the fact that this paradigm is really affecting us. And then it's really affecting the mentality of our youth. We cannot deal with developmental communication. Now, leveraging developmental communication in public relations, I believe we really help everyone, both the students, the youths, the young adults, the adults, the children, everyone coming. Because when you leverage developmental communication, it means you are making use of different strategies, different public relations strategies to send information to all facets of the economy. In this place, there will be an emerging factor, there will be something that will change in these sectors, and then at the end of the day, it's going to lead to development of our nation. When our nation is being developed, for us to actually calculate development of our nation, we need to look at the GDP, the life expectancy, we need to look at the educational standard, we need to look at the youth employment, we need to look at the adult life expectancy, we need to look at the health sector, we need to look at all sectors, the improvements in all these sectors through developmental communication. Then it's going to help everyone on the same level, and at the same time it's going to help majority of the youth. Because through this developmental communication, when these sectors, these facets actually deal and work well in the way they are meant to work, the youth will be able to bring in what they know how to do, their innovation. This developmental communication will also help them to do what? To bring their ideas. And then when they bring their ideas on the table, we'll be able to help them guess what they want, open a good market space for them, develop a good market space. This market space is what is going to help them to sell their idea.
Probably you want to help them to understand what developmental communication is.
It's all about. Developmental communication is actually a type of communication that deals with proper analysis, gathering of data, and then improving information, sending improving information to the society to make them move from a very low level to a greater level?
Well, thank you. We can also add that developmental communication has to do with seeing things from positive angle.
Exactly.
And slanting our ideas, slanting our reportage, slanting our conclusions to say, look, it might be bad now, but we are looking forward to change things positively. We need to have a change of mindset on how the foreigners look at us, and then let's see ourselves being positive, being promoting the ideas in our environment, rather than allowing others to dictate the pace for us. Thank you very much, Daniel. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you are also excelling in the area of brands.
Yes.
So, how can youths help brands to thrive?
All right, so I believe that any vision that is not properly communicated will not thrive. There's this quote I usually say every time, that best seen will always beat best if best is not seen. So best, S-E-E-N, will always be the best if the best is not seen. And so youth can help brands thrive if they come out with their value, properly articulated, targeted to the right audience. And so we encourage youth to always show up, not to just hide behind their skeletons, not to hide behind just staying at the back, but it's just allowing them to show up with their value, because that's one way they can actually influence brands. They can, even beyond influencing brands, influencing people. It's about showing up. It's about showing up.
Well, thank you so much. Probably, I want to ask you, have you been able to combine your faith work with academics and then some social activities?
All right, so one secret that I live my life by is understanding times and seasons. I believe that time can be defined in two ways, in Kairos and in Chronos. So Kairos is opportune time, Chronos is like everyday moments. And so Kairos, the idea of Kairos is that we will not always have the time that we have right now. So for me, my 4 years in school was my Kairos. I will not always have that 4 years studying that particular course. And so I know that whatever I will be doing within that 4 years, I will not have any other time to do it again. So I have learned to differentiate the activities in Kairos from the activities in Chronos. So I give proper priority to activities that require time now, that require Kairos now, than the activities that I will still have time to do. See, there's this thing I tell students, there are certain things that you do on campus that you always have time to do after school. But then there are certain things that you need to do on campus that you never have time again for it. My moment of graduating with a first class was maximizing my 4 years. I will never have that time again unless I'm to go study another course. So the understanding of Kairos and Chronos will help you. Another thing that I try to tell students is I try to explain to them that there's an illusion of balance among students. And the illusion of balance is that you can all balance everything at the same time. But that's wrong. That's not totally right. Because you cannot all balance everything as a student. You have to understand the concept of strength. You have to understand your level of effectiveness. You have to have systems and structures in place. As a student, you cannot do every other thing at the same time if you've not put out structures to ensure that those other areas of your life function without your involvement. So that's the concept of system and structures. System and structures help other areas of your life to function without primarily needing your time. Let's say you are a business owner or you are into tech. System and structures could be putting someone in charge of your delivery and not you running up and down when you're supposed to have classes. So I believe that if you can understand the concept of time, Kairos and Chronos, the concept of systems and structures, and the concept of strength. So the concept of strength is in two phases, the strength of the inner man and the strength of the body. The strength of your inner man will ensure that you can conceive great vision, but the strength of your body will ensure that you can execute it. So if you don't have strength in your inner man to conceive big vision, you will not be able to achieve it, because many students, I find out that many students don't achieve greatness in their academics because they've not conceived greatness in their academics. So it's the strength in your inner man that
how can someone conceive greatness in his academics?
One of the ways you can conceive greatness in your academics is to surround yourself with pictures of possibilities. So I call them pictures of possibilities because these are people that are already living in your reality. These are people whose reality is your desire. So you surround yourself with pictures of possibilities, and so you are seeing pictures that remind you of where you are going to. So that's one of the ways you can conceive visions of greatness.
That's great. Great explanation there. Thank you, E. Well, Daniel.
Yes, sir.
I want us to look at, you said over a decade,
Yes.
you've been running on scholarship,
Yes, sir.
and that has taken a lot of pressure from your parents. How did they feel?
Well, my parents are actually grateful. They are happy. They are proud of me for being able to go on a scholarship and maintain my academic excellence right from time, and then being on the same pace, increasing the pace, not reducing. It could be deduced from the fact that I graduated as the best graduating student from my school, that I still keep up with the pace. I've started this right from the time. And this has really made my parents proud, because they are not just happy about the scholarship, but they are happy for the fact that I keep on improving. One thing about me is that I believe that our past glory, they are our enemy of today. If we still keep on looking at what we've done yesterday that is very good, that is excellent, and we still keep on looking at them, then we won't be able to improve. For you to improve, you need to forget what you've done yesterday and tend to look at what will improve your ability, your dexterity, and your capability today. We are shine glories. For us to now get new glories, for us to be in the face of the world, to be relevant in today's world, then we need to forget about glories of yesterday. That is exactly the way I do things.
Setting a new standard.
Exactly.
Well, one thing I also like to bring out, I was part of the graduation convocation ceremony at Crescent University recently, where we are the best graduating students for the year. Surprisingly enough, I learned that the proprietor, that's Shegun Ajibola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria,
Yes, sir.
said that he has never met your children, that you'll be seeing them for the first time on that convocation day.
My parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
That's the first time.
how do you describe the proprietor?
He's a very great man. He's a very good man. And he keeps up with promise. I'm really glad that I was able to meet someone like him. That's really amazing. The fact that he doesn't even know me, I've not even seen him. Even me myself, first time I saw him was when I was in 300 level. So that was really great. He did everything he said, he promised, without me even stressing. So I see him as someone that God sent to me to just be an helper of my life. So that's basically it. And then even he said it on the convocation day, that my master's, my PhD, I'll continue it on scholarship. And at the same time, retaining me as a lecturer at Crescent University.
Oh, that's great.
Just after my service.
Well, that's great. You can also be a helping hand, lifting young ones, creating future leaders for ourselves. I want to say, for now, we're going to drop that curtain, and we'll continue the discussion next week, because we still have other areas to explore. At this moment, I'd like to thank Inyola, Inyoluwa Shileye, for coming on stage.
I'm honored. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have heard your story.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful one.
Thank you.
Until next week, let's meet again. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
it's also a good story that you have told, and I hope listeners are watching us,
Thanks, sir.
and they are going to imbibe in this spirit. So until next week, when we continue to look into other areas, I want to say thank you, both of you, for being part of this program.
Thank you.
Viewers, this where we're calling a day. I want to say thank you for allowing this youth to tell their stories. Be inspired, and let's grow a new standard in Nigeria. Thank you for being part of this program. Until next week, I'm your anchor, Akin Kudero. God bless you.